want the microphone?
No, I speak very loud. So my name is Keith Hirsch. I've been with the Greenwich Police Department for 25 plus years. I'm second generation. My father did 30 years as a detective here in town. I'm currently assigned to the community impact section. I'm an expert on threat assessment, physical assessment. I'm a trainer for civilian response to active shooter, and I'm also a certified crime prevention specialist. So that's my expertise. I do a lot of public speaking on a lot of different topics, and it's basically just to educate our public. And by educating you, we can cut down on a lot of things that are occurring in town. So, couple basics to go over that I want to expand your mind with common sense and definitions, that when you do call the police, that you have an inkling of what you're calling us for. So, simple. Larceny. Does anybody know what a larceny is? Okay. Theft. Simple theft. So if I walked over to her and I grabbed that.
It's a library.
Okay. And I walked out with intent to deprive another of property, or with intent to appropriate the property of another or oneself or third person. Okay. The actor wrongfully takes or obtains or withholds such property from another. Okay? Simple. Shoplifting, a larceny, right? Walk in, steal a candy bar, it's not mine, don't pay for it. Is that a larceny? Absolutely. So larceny is different degrees, and why those degrees are is because it's based upon monetary value. So if I steal a candy bar, it's like a larceny 6th because of the value of the candy bar. It's a misdemeanor. Right? Do we know the difference between misdemeanors and felonies? Punishment is stiffer for felonies. Fine amounts are stiffer for felonies. Now, if I steal a car, is that a larceny?
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Absolutely. That's larceny 1. That's a felony because of the value of the vehicle, right? Burglary. Does anybody know what a burglar is?
Then like,
We have to break in without permission.
I'm sorry.
you come into the house and take something or steal it out of my car?
Okay, so enter a dwelling or building with intent to commit a crime. So it's usually enter a dwelling, building, residence to commit a larceny. Let's see how they're going hand in hand. Here's the big one. What do we think robbery is?
Use a weapon.
Okay. Does it have to be a weapon?
No, maybe it's bodily threat.
How about threat of violence, right? Committing a larceny threatens the use of force, okay? Remember this one? Give me your purse. She doesn't know if I have a gun or not.
I don't want to find out either.
No, but that's a robbery, okay? Or give me your phone or I'm going to punch you in the face, okay? There's a threat of physical force. Okay? Now, the nice thing about in Connecticut with burglary, okay? What Connecticut has done is they say, your vehicle is a dwelling. And the reason that's nice is if I catch someone breaking into your car just to steal spare change, that's a charge of burglary third. That's a felony. And in New York, it's not considered a felony. Okay? So we've caught people coming from New York, like on the Byron line, and when they find out they're in Connecticut, you should see the 4-letter words that come out of their mouth. Oh, F, man, are you kidding me? They thought they were still in New York because to do the crime, not a big deal. If I catch you, here's the beautiful thing about Connecticut. That night you break into 10 cars, we'll charge you with 10 counts of burglary third. Wow. Okay. And here's the better thing. So we'll charge you with 10 separate incidents of burglary third. So say your car, I got 50 cents. That'd be like a larceny 6, right? Not a big deal. Your car, I got $400. What the state of Connecticut allows me to do is take the total. So I can take 10 counts of burglary third, add up everything that came out of those 10 cars and say, now we got 1 count of larceny 1. Make them all felons. that's a nice thing that Connecticut does. So, target, what are targets in the vehicles? Why are they breaking into your cars?
Computers, phones.
Wow, bang, look at that, laptops, good job. How about those,
Yeah.
Money.
right?
Change.
Houston, we have a problem. There we go. Loose change, yes, loose change all the time. Reason being loose change, okay? Some of you guys have a ton of quarters, okay? So we hop in the car, I get $4 of yours, I get $3 yours, I get $5 of yours, and all of a sudden I have $100 in change. Well, to a heroin addict, what is that? That's his next 5 hits. Now, the scary thing is, you come out to your car, you gotta go to work. You know if you call the police, you gotta wait there for the police, file a report. You determine the only thing missing is $3. You don't call us. People don't call us for that. It's an inconvenience. Okay? So we have a lot of unreported larcenies from vehicles because of specifically that. Purses, absolutely. Luggage, sure. Gym bags, backpacks, sunglasses, cell phones, iPads, anything that's valuable. Okay? That's what's in cars. Now, 3 seconds, all it takes to smash a window and steal what's in the car. Rocks, center punch, screwdriver, common items to use to break a window. You'll see pry marks on a car if they do that, if they're actually breaking the window. But we have a bad habit in this town. We don't really lock our cars. So, piece of ceramic is interesting. I found this out about 10 years ago when I was tracking a guy who was breaking into cars. Back when, remember, GPS units were worth something, and they weren't built into your cars. You actually bought a GPS unit and it had a suction cup and it made a mark on the windshield. So even if you hit it, you knew it was there because you didn't got the mark up. Right. So this guy was stealing GPS units. Why a piece of ceramic? See why I said we're not a... So that's a tempered car window. You see what he's breaking? Right. Little piece of ceramic. Crazy, right? So, ceramic actually has a chemical reaction to that glass. Explodes. So, we had cars that were getting hit nonstop, windows getting smashed, GPS units getting stolen at all the train stations and the public parking areas, like Horseneck, Pascal, Old Greenwich, getting hit. And we were doing a crime analysis and they were getting hit every Thursday. Thursday. So I said, okay, we're going to sit in an undercover car. And I said, we got to pick a lot. So I said, let's pick the one in Central Greenwich. I'm feeling lucky, right? So about 45 minutes into the sit, car comes in with Jersey plates, and I had already looped the lot, meaning I surveyed the lot, and I had already found the cars parked in the lot that had GPS units sitting out. And the first one that I could see was a Mercedes, and the Jersey car came up, and as it started rolling down the aisle, it went, and the brake lights hit right at the Mercedes. And I said, this is my guy. No, you know. So they get out, 2 people, and they go to pop the window on the car. I say, you kick it like this, and I gave them the scare of life, which is, freeze, get on the ground.
What did you say?
Freeze, get on the ground,
Okay.
right? And as he put his hands up, I saw him go like this, and I saw a little piece of white. Wow. And we had no clue how they were breaking these windows, because we weren't finding rocks, we weren't finding pry marks, we weren't finding baseballs, we figured they were hitting the window with something to break these windows. I thought it was a center punch. They have spring-loaded center punches that firemen carry to go on scenes. And so when we finally cuffed them, I walked over and I thought that white piece was actually gonna be like contraband, like crack. That's what I thought, so I put on rubber gloves and went over. And when I picked it up, I can see the letters OS. And it was ceramic, and there's a spark plug made by Bosch. Okay? So, started talking to the guy, he had a big crucifix on, we just started having a chat about God. We talking about crimes, talking about our faith, and I said, I don't think Jesus would be real happy with what you're doing. And he broke down and started crying, he showed me pictures of his daughter, and I said, explain to me what that was. He's the one that taught me about ceramic. Okay? The reason he was breaking the cars on Thursdays, by the way, in his car already were 13 GPS units coming down from Fairfield County. Because on the other days, he was a subcontractor to install cable vision in your homes. Interesting, right? The funny thing is, when we took the GPS units as evidence, started turning them on to see what they were, one came back to an FBI agent. And I called the FBI headquarters in New Haven, and I said, Agent Murphy there. Yeah, I said, you missing GPS unit out of your car? That's not my car's in the FBI lot. I said, well, you better go out there. The window was popped. The GPS unit. It was the fastest I've ever seen an FBI agent get to Greenwich Police Department. But that's another story. So let's talk about, what does a car burglar look like?
I have a question. Why was it Thursday?
That was his day off.
Oh.
The other days he was installing cable.
Okay.
Yeah, that was his day off. That's how he made extra money. I will not be offended. There are no wrong answers. I don't care if you're profiling, stereotyping. What do you think a car burglar looks like?
You and me, male.
Okay, male. You or me, I'm a little bit old. I'm not running around doing that anymore.
Teens?
Okay, teens,
I'd say probably under 30.
under 30. Okay. This is from Brookfield, not too far, from 2017, so not that long ago, but it's a great video. This was in February, and you'll see this is when Connecticut used to get snow. So that's the suspect vehicle. I don't know if you can read that. It's a little small, coming down the street. Here comes your three unknown suspects. One went across the street, two come in this driveway. How about two teenage girls?
Oh, my gosh.
How about two white teenage girls? Now, if you see across the street, these people locked their doors. But what happened over here is the interior of the car went on, meaning that car was left unlocked. She opened the door, the light went on. Those two, what do they immediately do? Let's go help our friend, right? So exactly what you said. Car burglar can look like anybody. Anybody. Any race, any sex, any age. One of the most prolific car burglars I ever caught, he was hitting the Edge Fitness lot where Walgreens is, okay? I got him on 16 cars over the course of 4 months. Okay? He was 71 years old.
That's amazing.
And went to church 3 days a week and sang in the choir. I'm not exaggerating. Hand on Bible, God's on his truth. Yep.
Did you work the same parking lot?
He hit the same parking lot all the time. Yep. Because people left their belongings in their car when they went to work out.
Jim's. Still do that.
Yep.
After you stopped him a couple of times, he kept doing it.
No, when I arrested him and charged him with 14 counts of burglary third, and he had a rap sheet quite long, probably stretched out to aisle 3. He did some significant time, and I never ran into him again. So, we're talking, he might not even be still alive. This was years ago, but no. So how to protect your vehicle? Simple. There's one. We're playing Family Feud, right? Who's got another one?
Lock it. Lock it.
Okay, don't leave your keys in your vehicle. This is a good one. And the number one answer, lock your car. Okay? I don't have anybody, very rare, breaking windows to get in vehicles in this town.
No need.
Car burglaries did not stop. I can tell you that.
Because they had to keep, they could step a key.
No one in the town of Greenwich feels the need to lock their car. Okay? No one. I'm going to show you an example. Last year, 130 cars stolen in town. What do they all have in common?
Keep keys with them. Wow. With the keys in them. Oh, geez, the files were in the car.
Now, you bring up an excellent point, and I'm glad you did it, and I didn't have to. What was the word you said?
File.
Okay. How many people actually have to stick a key into the car to turn it to start? Okay. Rare.
Yeah, one of the two cars. Well,
Rare. Okay.
they're coming.
Me too. Like, I have 2 cars. There's my Mini. Doesn't stick into anything. Get in, flip a switch, right? So, they know car's unlocked. Foot on the brake, flip the switch. If it starts, the key's in it. Okay? Even better, what the car thieves know, certain models and brands. Range Rovers and Audis. Okay? If the key is not in the car, the mirrors turn in automatically. If I drive down and look in the driveway and the mirrors are out, I know the key's in your car.
Wow.
Okay? There's actually German manufacturers, and we know the big Germans, Mercedes, BMW, Volkswagen, looking into going back to laser cut keys to start your car. Because we have become so complacent. Okay? I mean, it's so easy to steal vehicles, and it's technology's fault. It's technology's fault that we've gotten so lazy that when we get home, we push the button, the car gets off, and we just hop out and we go on our way. Okay?
Can I ask a question? If the keys aren't in the car, how do they start the car?
They're not stealing cars with no keys. That's what I'm telling you.
So there's,
They're not stealing any cars.
so the thing with the wires, they can't do that anymore?
Kia and Hyundai. Kia and Hyundai, there's 2 cars that you can actually steal with a USB port, which are since being recalled, and believe it or not, big insurance companies said, we will no longer insure those vehicles until they're fixed. Okay? So there was 2 models from 2 different manufacturers, but that problem is starting to be rectified. Yes, it was started with the USB cable, right? But I can tell you this, there is a very small percentage of actual car thieves. What I mean is they're stealing a car, they're professionals, and they're stealing to sell the car to make money on it. All these cars were recovered.
130 were recovered?
I think 127, 130. We're recovering. These are kids. These are kids stealing cars. They're dumping them in Waterbury, they're dumping them in New Haven, some are dumping them in the Bronx. These are kids stealing these cars. Right? Just to show you where legislature is right now, we need a change. We caught one kid on a dead-end street, and when he was arrested, he already had an ankle bracelet on, meaning he was under house arrest. Okay? It was his 12th time getting caught with a stolen car. Where's the recourse? There isn't.
Are these kids on drugs, or is it just a high for them to do this?
It's like a video game to them. Because they know Connecticut police, we're not pursuing stolen vehicles. You do realize that, right?
Oh, you think they're dumping it, then are they telling someone they're there and someone else can pick them up?
I'm sorry?
They're just joyride, then, or are they?
For the most part, a lot of the times when a car is stolen in town, we find another car was stolen from a different jurisdiction. Sometimes it's been dumped. Okay. Are any of you old Greenwich residents? Okay. I have an old Greenwich resident that they got into his Mercedes. They started up and parked it on the street to steal the Maserati that was parked in front of them. Okay. Both cars unlocked, both cars keys on.
We all know who
Weren't
it
there two
is.
Ferraris, weren't there two Ferraris in Riverside back to back?
I'm sorry?
Same guy?
I'm sorry?
Weren't there two Ferraris in Riverside back to back, same guy? Two Ferraris in the same driveway in Riverside, guy came back down the second one.
Yep. Okay,
So
so,
I know a guy in Old Ranch had a Porsche, it was a real thing, they took it, and then they didn't have to break windows to steal it, because he brought up his car keys in it, and then when he got it back, they had shredded his seats, because they had to get the sensor so it couldn't be tracked, so that was, and then they had to be.
so like I said, those are kids doing it. It's not, someone's not gonna shred a car if they're trying to sell it. So like, we had high-end car thieves in town over the summer. And know how we know they were high-end car thieves? Because they tried to steal 3 Ferraris from Miller Motor Cars. Those are professionals.
Yeah.
Those are professionals that broke into Miller Motor Cars, tried to steal 3 Ferraris, and if they got away with those 3 Ferraris, chances are we probably would have never done it. They would have been on a container, shipped overseas and gone. Those are professionals. Okay? Those are doing it for monetary value, but these cars no. So now I'd like to talk about while in public. Greenwich has an image. We must always outdo our neighbors. Shinier car, bigger diamond ring, bigger house. Right?
Excuse me, I know you said you had a loud voice, but I don't know if my ears are plugged tonight or what. I need you to speak a little bit louder.
Okay,
I will.
you want to move up?
I can do that too.
Sure. Is anybody else having a problem hearing me?
No,
Okay,
just me.
just checking.
Ears up.
We did a test about 7 years ago that we walked into Whole Foods.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and in Whole Foods, when I found a purse that was unattended, I put an orange sticker on it saying your purse was just stolen. Right? We were there for 2 hours, and we did 17 purses.
Wow.
And that's the typical purses in there, unzipped, wallets exposed, and you bend over to pick the jar or sauce up, or whatever you're getting to throw in your bag. And a lot of times, if it's unzipped like that one is now, they reach in and grab your wallet. Bag remains in the shopping cart. You don't realize your wallet's gone until you go to check out. Okay? So this is important that you need to hold on to these things when you're shopping, when you're in public. Don't put them down. This happens very quickly. Very quickly. We're like, oh, they got cameras. Everybody thinks a camera is the answer to solving a crime. Right? If I took a picture of myself and sent it to South Carolina, do you think that anybody down there knows who I am? No. Okay? There's 63,000, I say there's more, Greenwich residents. Is there people in Greenwich that you've never laid eyes on that live here? Absolutely. So now you're trying to get someone who's not from the community, even if we have a good shot, if they have no criminal history, they automatically think because we have cameras, hey, this is the guy, catch him. And I said, that's great, who is it? What do you mean? Okay? You can have images all you want. But if you don't know anybody that knows that person, if they haven't been arrested before, if a police department doesn't know, we do flyers and nobody knows them, what good is the image?
You got 2 fingerprints ever? They touch the bag?
If we can do fingerprints, sure. Fingerprints depending on what type of surface. Okay? Hard surface, soft surface. There's certain surfaces that aren't great for fingerprints. But if the only thing is what they touched was the wallet that they took, what fingerprint did they? Okay. And you're banking on they've been arrested before. Their fingerprints would have to be on file, right? We had a woman followed home because she was wearing a 4-carat ring. Okay, this is going years back. Followed home, committed a robbery and a burglary of her house. Take your ring, turn it upside down. No reason to show it. Okay? Especially when you're out in public, you're going to strange places. You don't need to broadcast what you have. Now, if I see you in your sweatpants, but you pull in a brand new Porsche, and you got a 4-carat diamond, don't you think I think you have more than what you're displaying? Don't advertise. It's the same reason I tell realtors we don't need glam shots. Okay? I'm not hiring you because you look good in a magazine, I'm hiring you because of your track record. You sell a lot of houses. That's what I want you to do. Don't leave credit cards on counters. Do that all the time. Now credit cards, they have new technology, you can just bump them. You can bump your watch, okay? Well, you do realize that your watch is giving a signal to that machine. Criminals have figured it out. They have machines that also can steal your signal, just being in the vicinity. You know, like, has anybody ever shared photos before just by like, correct?
Yeah, airdrop.
Airdrop technology, right. Like I said earlier, I said, has anybody got the Wi-Fi password? Technically, if someone did, I could have walked over and said, yeah, I'll share it with you, and they sent it to me, right? Well, criminals are getting good with this stuff. Check ATM machines, gas pumps, credit card readers, even at the checkout counter. What I mean by check them is where you put your credit card in. If it's a chip or a slide or even a bump, grab that device and see if anything comes off, peels off it. They put Bluetooth readers on the outside that looks exactly like an ATM machine. Your card will still go into the ATM machine and then come out on the skimming device. Sometimes they put them on the doors because after hours, some of the ATM machines, they want you to put your card in to buzz in, correct? Or just read your card. Now, does anybody pay attention when they're getting gas? Gas pumps now, if you see, there's locks on gas pumps. And what you started to notice about 4 or 5 years ago is a red piece of tape going over the lock. And it actually says on the tape, if this tape is broken, please notify the manager. Does anybody recall seeing that? Next gas pump you go at, look at, they're on there still. Okay?
Whereabouts on the pump are they?
They'll be right where there's a little silver lock, okay? To actually, for a mechanic to get into the gas pump to work on the gas pump.
Okay.
Okay? They'll be right across that, all right? Reason being is it's a generic lock. So there's like 3 or 4 gas keys for, a couple different pumps that the mechanic will carry to get into the back of the gas pump. I won't say the gas station in town, but we had a lot of people that was getting their credit cards stolen, fraudulent usage. And what my partner and I had determined, everything they had in common, they had all gotten gas at this one gas station. So we went down, we checked all the pumps, we shook the devices, checking to see where your credit card goes in. And I said, can you open the pump? Yeah, I got the key to open up the pump. So they opened the pump, and they swung the door out, and they had got a Bluetooth device on the inside of the pump.
Wow.
And it had been there probably from the first victim, from the date to the last victim. That Bluetooth reader had been in there for 2.5 weeks.
Installed by whom?
Yeah, who
Huh?
Installed by whom? Really? Not somebody working there or?
Someone who had a key, like I said, a generic key. All you have to do is be a mechanic to a gas pump, steal a key from a gas pump, just to gain access to that gas pump. Installed after hours, and they were probably within range with a laptop. In 2.5 weeks, how much credit cards do you think they got? Right? We had 7 victims that were just Greenwich residents. So there was obviously a lot more. These are things you have to check, shape. Sometimes you're just on 2-sided tape. Believe it or not, we've had people in town that's gone through this class, we told that, and they call us up like, hey, I found them. We go over, and they actually did. They shook it off an ATM machine, and it peeled right off. It was 2-sided tape.
I have to get this straight now. Do that again. How this, where they put that? Will you repeat that, please?
Right where you put your credit card in to get money on.
Yes, okay.
So it's going to slide right through it. It looks like it's part of the machine. It's over the actual place where you would put your credit card for an ATM machine. They slip it right over that. So you're sliding it.
My card in.
It's going in the machine, through the device, and back out through the device. You would be able to peel that right off. But it will look like a black piece of plastic that's part of the machine. Okay? House alarms. Who has house alarm? Who uses their house alarm? Okay? All the time?
Yep.
You're home for the night? Put it on.
Not that night.
If You don't, why?
Oh, I don't want to trip it.
Where are you going? You're home for the night.
I know.
And if you do trip it, like when you come home, what does it do? It goes doot, doot, and you plug in your code,
Yeah.
okay? Use them. That's what they're there for, okay? Definitely use them. I'm a police officer. I have a safe with a gun right by my bed. My alarm goes on every single night. Every single night. Goes on when I'm not there. It goes on when I'm there. As long as I'm in for the evening. Okay? My kids know when they come home. I got a senior in high school. They come home. I'm in bed by the time she comes home. I hear the alarm go, doot, doot. She punches the code, turns it off, shuts the door, and I hear her put it right back on. Use your alarm. So the average time between activation and contacting the police is 5 minutes. Well, why does it take so long? You ever trip your alarm? Who do they call first? Correct. What's your password? What's a code? Is everything okay? False alarm. Some people actually have a second person on there to call, right? So now we've done 5 minutes. Now we say, okay, well, we can't get in touch with anybody. Let's dispatch police, right? Call police headquarters. There's an alarm, house alarm, Brookfield Drive. Right? So our response time, once we get dispatched, is about 4 to 6 minutes, depending on where you live. If there's a car right there, it might be even faster. But if it's backcountry, depending on where the car is, okay, 4 to 6 minutes. So now we got 5 minutes. On the low end, it's 9 minutes. On the high end, it's 11 minutes a person has in your house once they set the alarm off, right? Simple math?
Yep.
Any burglar worth their weight in salt is gone. He's done his job. Gone. Right? He's in and out in less than 10 minutes. Because they know.
But what's legal in terms of self-defense?
I'm sorry?
What's legal in terms of self-defense in your home if you encounter someone in your home?
As far as they're going to
What are you
threaten bodily harm to you? You feel threatened?
Yeah.
It's not legal if he's running out the door and you shoot him in the back.
Right.
No, that's not good. Okay? But if you feel threatened of violence, you can defend yourself. We don't have a stand your ground law like Florida. Okay? Great state.
But you have a castle doctrine. Anyway, the question I have is, do most thieves break in if they think people are there?
No.
Thank you, because
No.
I contend that.
Absolutely
exactly
not.
what happened.
Absolutely
They don't
not.
want to deal with the homeowner.
They don't want to deal with the homeowner, and they also know it's a stiffer charge. It's called a home invasion, not a burglary. Okay? No. No. Someone committing burglaries, they think you're not home. They don't want you home. Okay? Burglary occurs in the U.S. every 14.6 seconds. So how many has already occurred since we've been here? Right. So under 15 seconds is a burglary in the U.S. Why do they occur from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.?
Nobody's working.
Right. So in the past, it was not uncommon, things have changed, that one person worked, one person stayed home. Okay? Dual careers is what's extremely popular. Okay? Both parties, regardless of sex, have a career. So the house is being left unoccupied all the time during that time frame. Now the town of Greenwich, it's been a steadfast line that we have about 60 to 80 burglaries a year. That number really hasn't changed in the 25 years I've been there, and it didn't change the 30 years prior to when my father was here. Okay? Steadfast. It's not a great number, but it's not a bad number. It's never really going up, never really going down. When it really went down was when?
During the pandemic.
Absolutely. Pandemic.
People working from home.
Everybody was home. That was the biggest dip we ever saw. Okay? Homes without security systems 3 times more likely to be broken into. Now, my partner's famous for saying this, is that when you see your alarm panel, it's normally by the door you enter, right? A lot of the times, you can see those panels from outside the house, and you just peek in, right? Well, on those panels, there's certain lights. If it's not armed, believe it or not, the light is green. Danny coined the phrase, green means go. Burglar knows that. So when you're home in bed, and he looks at your panel, and it's lit up green, home run, man. This woman doesn't arm her own light.
Oh, you're gonna be.
Now, guess what color it is when it's armed?
Red.
Red means stop. Red means stop. Right? Burglars spend an average of 8 minutes in your home. What were the times I gave you? Between 9 and 11? They think they know what the police response time is? When their average is 8? Sure. They know. They know. Right to the master bedroom. A lot of houses are designed the same. In the front door, up the stairs, over the right, there's the master bedroom. Right? Bang, boom. Here we go. Why? Because jewelry, money, and we're American. Hate to say it, we're lazy. We want our jewelry right there. We don't want to walk through a safe down someplace and go put it on. We're so lazy that Starbucks had to come up with an app that we can order our coffee before we even get there. Right? It's waiting for you, hot. I've seen people in the line at Starbucks go on the app and order their coffee because they don't want to wait in the line and then just go over and stand by with the coffee's done. Right? It's our culture. We want instant gratification, instantaneously. Cash, jewelry, not so much electronics. Why? What'd you say? Absolutely. Jess, what iPhone are they on? 15. So what does that mean? As soon as they sell you iPhone 15, they're already working on 16. Technology. Now, do you remember when flat screen TVs first came out? No one could afford them. Now you can go to Costco's and buy a 100-inch TV for like $600. There's no value in them, and they're big. They're bulky. No one's stealing that stuff.
But those also have the ID now, that just said, where's my phone?
Yes, we can track electronics. Absolutely. 100%. Electronics are trackable. Unless you leave your phone unlocked, these guys can quickly go in and erase it and send it back. You know, there's like factory setting, and then it says, you sure you want to do this? And you do that every time you get a new phone. Like, you're doing that now. As soon as you're done copying it on your own phone, you're going to wipe everything from that phone and turn it in. Targeted residence. No vehicles in driveway. That's an easy one. Don't think you're home. Right? You're not maintaining your house, especially when it snows. We have what's called a lot of snowbirds in the town of Greenwich. You know what that means? Come Thanksgiving, they fly south. And then they come back, and they say, hey, my house was burglarized. I say, okay, give me the time frame. Well, it's November 17th to March 5th. Really? That's a big span. Okay? Don't advertise, you know, if you're going away and you have someone who plows your driveway and walkway, don't tell them you're going away. Because you know what they do? You're the last one to get shoveled and plowed. They know you're not home. They might not even do it. Okay? Mail left in the mailbox. Multiple newspapers. Does everybody stop their mail when they go away?
I do.
Yeah, or you have your neighbors get it.
Okay. Can't rely on humans.
Mine is.
Okay? Because your neighbor could say, yeah, I got it, and they get it the day just before you get home because it's the overbox, okay? They got it. But you can go on the United States Postal website, pick the date you're leaving, pick when you want your mail back, and stop your mail. It's that easy. Lighting. Motion sensor lighting was always popular. What I always found is when I teach classes and I speak to people, it makes people nervous. Why is that light going on? Backcountry is easy because there's a deer in the backyard, right? So the new technology, which is the same cost as motion sensor lighting, is what's called photocell lighting. And photocell is what I call idiot-proof lighting. The reason being is photocell goes on when it gets dark, and it goes off when it gets light. That's it. That's all you have to know. It's LED lighting, which is low emitting diodes that don't use a lot of energy. So your electricity bill is not shooting through the roof, but it's foolproof. Okay? If lighting's done correctly on your house, it's like putting a moat of light around your house. None of the light will disturb you inside. None of the light will disturb your neighbors. You ever had a tight beam flashlight? Well, where does the light go? Exactly where you shine it. Light's like water. It's only going to go where you point it. Now, if your lighting is angled correctly, it will go down from your house, away, and create a moat of light around your house. It won't disturb anybody. All right? That's how you want it. Plantings or fencing blocking windows and entryways. This is huge in this town. When you get all the plants, you plant them around, your house looks awesome for 2 years, and then you don't maintain them, you let them triple in size, now you can't even see out the window. What you're doing is offering concealment for someone to sit there behind that hedge and work on the window. Okay? Windows are meant to be seen out of. There's not supposed to be vegetation blocking any of your windows. That was not the architect's design. No alarm. This is a big one in town. You go north of the Parkway, how many people can see their neighbors?
Right.
Not many. Right? Trends. Prefer the front door. 50% of the time they're coming right in the front door. I'm going to show you why. They don't care how much damage they cause while committing the act, except we had this one crew, believe it or not, when they broke the door and the wood splintered. In every case, they neatly piled the wood. You know, we're convinced he had, like, you know, some type of disorder. Like every splinter, like perfect, that like if, hey, you want to get some crazy, you know, put the puzzle back together, you could. He had all the pieces. How many people have a front door that has glass panels on either side of it and you have a deadbolt? And I pop the glass panel and I go like this and I unlock your door. You need to realize.
There's a key on the inside.
Huh?
No, there's a key on the inside. I lock it from the inside.
With a key.
Yeah, but the key doesn't stay there.
Okay. Believe it or not, that's a violation of fire code, but yes. Because if you're in a panic and there's a fire, now you're like, where the hell's the key? And I'm locked in. Right?
Change that.
So anyway, but
Prefer a fire.
all those houses, they're designed like that, and it's because an architect, a builder, a designer, they think of curvature. They do not think of security. At all. I have a very modern farmhouse. I live in a fishbowl. My wife has glass everywhere. It's not ideal for what I like, but she owns an interior design firm and she wanted to do that. Right? But I do have 15 cameras in my house. Okay? There was a compromise. So window testing, this is popular for burglars, especially in the summer. Circle house, gently pushing on windows to find out. So we all know, like, you have slide windows. Your lock is normally on the sill where they join. So if you have your window open for ventilation during the day and at night you just slide it down. And again, laziness plays a factor, we just pull the window down. On the outside, it's just a screen. Some of the times you don't even have to remove the screen. You can just push the screen in and just push on the window. And if it goes up, it's unlocked, right? The best one is in-unit air conditioners. Either grab it and pull it out, or kick it in, and they're in your house. Okay, so those need to be screwed in or secured. Also, if they're dressed appropriately, it's going to attract less attention. If someone looks like they belong in the neighborhood, you don't think anything of it. We always think of like, oh, there's a guy on my street who's disheveled looking. If I'm coming down dressed like I am, in my vineyard vine shirt, walking through Old Greenwich, you think nothing of it. Zero. I'm not saying call the police because you see a guy walking down the street you're unfamiliar with, but you might want to start taking notes of, never seen that guy before, and why is this car not parked near any house? I say take a picture of the car. If it turns out to be nothing, it's nothing. If you come home and the police are in your neighborhood because your neighbor got burglarized, you are gonna be
And that
a
car's
hero
gone.
to us. Yeah, I thought something was on. There was a car parked there and I took a picture of it. Like, oh my God, I wanna hug you. Okay, we got something to work with. Be the nosy neighbor. Love it. Fastest entry is smashing a window, kicking in a door. No doubt. Okay, a door is only as strong as a door frame. If you have a deadbolt and you have a hollow wall with small wood, is the deadbolt gonna break or is the wood casing gonna break? Wood casing's gonna break, absolutely. So if I'm not a huge guy, but if I kicked my hardest right here, you think I'd be able to get that door open in one shot? Absolutely. And the reason they use the front door, okay, so again, coming into our complacentness, you're watching TV, we're all doing it, watching your favorite show, and you hear, you know what we do? We hit mute. What was that? We wait to hear it again, and we don't hear it again, we go back to watching our TV show. Your neighbor's front door just got kicked in. Okay, so why they use the front doors, now it's kicked in, where's all the damage gonna be?
On the inside?
So I go on the broken door, all the damage is on the inside, and I go. And if you actually do get up and look, you don't see anything. That's why they use the front door. Okay? One loud bang, boom, I'm in. I'm in. So there's burglary types. Opportunity, smash and grab, prowlers, and the professional. Those are the rarest. Okay? We'll go over why they're the rarest. Opportunity, least common. I'm not looking to commit a crime, but God, you are tempting me. I'm a big fish in a small pond, and you just threw the biggest piece of bait in front of my face. The opportunity presents itself. Okay? You might not even be doing it for monetary value. Now, we got a car in here, we got some bicycles in here, maybe we got some lawn equipment in there, I don't know. But I happen to have a couple too many cocktails at the local pub, say Sam's down in Manchester. Uber's not running, and I start walking home. And I've got a 4-mile walk. Well, you know, I could get home a lot quicker on that bike. I might take that bike to drive home and throw it in a bush, not in front of my house, but close enough that I got home. Or I might look over at that car that the window's down, and there's a brand new Apple laptop sitting in there. I said, well, my laptop is like 7 years old. We've had this happen on Greenwich Avenue right after the laptop has been purchased, still in the box. Okay? Unlocked car, Apple bag, Apple products. Man, you're tempting me. Right? What do we have to get away on Greenwich Avenue? I'll just get the next train. I'll go up to Old Greenwich. I'll go to Costco, or I'll go down into the city. Smash and grab. This is when force is used. This is when I showed you the ceramic. You know, they're smashing windows to get belongings, get valuables. These people are usually young and scared. They might be drug or alcohol dependent. They usually don't take and look around for things other than what's apparent. So they're seeing something they know has value, they smash the window, they take it, they get out of there. Meanwhile, you might have had something a lot more expensive in the back seat or the trunk. They're just taking what's apparent, they're nervous what they're doing. Somewhat planned, they're looking for the opportunity. I don't want to say they're innocent. quicker means than windows. So, they'll smash to get in the house, get in there. And a lot of times you can tell, I've gone to enough burglaries in my lifetime that you can tell who's the drug dependent person, who's the professional, who's the prowler. You can just tell by looking at a scene. Okay? Prowlers, more professional than opportunity smash and smash and grab type burglars. They may smash, but they'll spend time. They don't necessarily will dash. They may smash to get in, but they may take their time to look around for more things of value than what they're actually seeing. They're a little bit more comfortable in what they're doing. They've done this before. They know what a value is. They have fences. Does everybody know when I say the word fences, what I mean by a fence? Okay? If I'm a jewel thief, I have someone to sell those jewels to. Okay? So a jewel thief might hit your house, steal your jewelry. You might have silver. You might have something else that's of value. But if he doesn't have someone buying it, and he doesn't know how to get rid of it, I keep saying he, I don't mean he, it could be she. Okay? They're not taking it. They're taking the thing they know they have a sale. Okay? They know your hiding places. They'll ransack your house. They'll dump drugs. They'll flip over things. They'll go through everything until they find what they're looking for, or hopefully looking for. That's actually a scene from a Greenwich burglary years ago. You can see it. Went through every drawer, just dumped on the bed.
So they look like they have a lot more time though. Oh, in and out in under 10 minutes.
In and out under 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep. They still are going on that time clock. They know. But they're just going to do things a lot faster. May pose as the delivery person. We've had people come up and say, hey, I'm from Encon, I'm from the gas company, and the homeowner thinks they're doing the right thing by accompanying the person. Okay? So say, hey, we've had an outage, some of these houses are affected, can you show me where your fuse box is? We want to make sure we're not pumping enough wattage into your house. They're very convincing. They're used car salesmen. They're excellent at what they do. This is their profession. They master their craft. They're not nervous speaking to you. You say, okay, this shyster. Come on, I'll take you to the basement. You take them out of the basement. Oh no, their partner's coming in when you're in the basement with them. And then when you're in the basement and you're keeping a hawk eye on them, they're like, no way, this guy's ripping me off. All of a sudden his cell phone rings and he goes, yeah, oh, hang on, it's my supervisor. Oh, it's the next block over. Got it. That was his partner upstairs saying, we got everything we need, let's go. Okay? And you think you did everything right. Don't be afraid to offend somebody. I don't know who you are. Where are you from? Show me your credentials. You know what? I'm calling Eversource. If the guy's really from Eversource, he's going to be standing on the porch as soon as you come back from making the phone call. And I always use this example. I walk into a room like this. That makes people nervous. Watch. Oh my God. I'm not so nervous anymore. Why? Can I get this on Amazon?
Yes. You can get someone, you can get one similar, sure.
You can go right down there and get a costume badge. Jess, you buy costumes all the time. Did you get a good-looking badge on Amazon?
Oh, yeah.
So why does this make me better than that?
Perception is.
Correct. I'm not going to be offended and say, hey, ma'am, I'm Officer Hirsch, I'm here in the neighborhood of crime. And you say, you know what? I don't know who you are. I'm going to call the police department, make sure someone's supposed to be in this neighborhood. I'm going to say, not a problem. If I'm not who I say I am, she's going to see a vapor trail out of it. Okay? I'm never offended if people say I'm calling police headquarters. Go ahead. I break out my wallet, show my credentials. If you feel comfortable calling police department, ma'am, by all means do so. I wish more people would do that. Okay? Like I said, they're going to have partners sometimes, may use your linens, pillowcases, or luggage. They don't come into your house carrying something, but they'll use a bag to carry it out. It's like very popular for people to come home and a pillowcase was missing. It's a perfect thing to dump jewelry in. Okay? This is where they're headed. You don't see too many of these guys anymore because this has become so prominent. Identity theft and fraud. Through technology, they're stealing identities, they're opening up credit cards, they're washing checks, they're taking your IRS tax refund before you even know you get it. They're filing tax refunds in your name before you even know that. Okay? They've become more prolific in this. This is a much harder crime to get caught at, and it's a lot easier crime to commit. There's a lot less risk. You're not in an odd place. You could be doing it in the comforts of Perrot Library. Okay? These people are not afraid. So if you come into your house and something's not right, we're not going to explore. We're getting the heck out. Professionals. This is the rarest of the breed. They're often part of a ring. May force their way in, but no need to ransack. They can burglarize your house, and you might not even know you're a victim for weeks because it's not a piece of jewelry you wear every day. They know what they want. They know where it's located because they may have inside information. They might be, their cousin might have just painted your house. Their cousin or their brother might just have installed your carpet. Done some plumbing work. How about the worst case scenario? Talk about that 4-carat diamond that you got on your 50th wedding anniversary. Because when your husband proposed to you, all he can afford was a gumball. But now he's done well. He wants to show you how much he loves you. The first thing you do is call your insurance company. Because, hell, this is a lot of money, I better insure it. The insurance agent is letting his criminal brother know that this woman just got a 4-carat diamond, it's a VS1, and it's at Roundhill Road. That's professional. That's how advanced professional gets. Okay.
That's awesome.
This is rare. Does anybody remember the Dinner Time Bandit?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the Dinner Time Bandit, his name was Alan Golder. Alan Golder could have taught gemology school. I'm not kidding. He actually took your good diamonds and left your bad. When he explored them and looked at them, he could tell what a VS1 crystal clear diamond was, and what a cloudy diamond was, what a yellow looking diamond was, what was platinum, what was gold, what was white gold. He could have been a jeweler. He was a jewel thief. Very proficient, excellent at what he did. He was called the Dinner Time Bandit because he hit your house when you were home. At 6 o'clock at night, 7:30 at night, when the family was typically still downstairs. What Mr. Golder did, he doesn't look at in that condition, but he scaled your house and entered through the 2nd or 3rd floor. And he went right to the master and he got your good jewels. It's not uncommon to find picnic tables set up like a Jenga board that he would create a ladder at. Or you would see scuff marks from where he scaled the wall to get in. Right? When we finally caught Mr. Golder, he was in Germany. He was identified and a warrant completed, and he was arrested by my father. My father's one I call him.
Isn't that great?
Okay? So when we caught him in Germany, this is now Sergeant Corticelli, Detective Division. Just a funny story. He was one of the people that had an active passport, so poor Pierre had to go to Germany to go get it.
There's a lesson in that.
So many informants, they could have someone from the insurance company. It could be that deep. It could be someone who was in your house months ago. If they're really good, they get the information. We're not going to act on it right away because you're going to remember, yeah, I just had some work done in this house. Right? Just had some wallpaper installed. I just had the floor sanded. But if I wait 6 months, and then I come and say, hey, was there anybody recently in your house? I say, no, not really. I haven't had anything done. You're not going to recall 6 months ago who was in your house. But that person already got the information what's in your house.
Good reason to use some of the same people you've used over the years that you trust, rather than trying somebody new.
Sure. A lot of times though, people do it to save a buck. It winds up hurting. Remember the old saying, which is true, you get what you pay for. Maybe workers, painters, carpet cleaners, like I've pointed out, they inside your home, they're surveying your valuables. They're watching where you go. They're watching where you store things. You don't think so, but if you're not paying attention to the guy painting the wall, he might just be looking over his shoulder paying attention to you. That's why it's important to use reputable workers, reputable companies. Prevention. Make sure your services are licensed and bonded. Okay? Any good company nowadays, depending on what you do in your house, they're going to want a contract signed. They're going to want a paper trail in case you stiff them, right? So it protects them. It's also protecting you. I know who these people are. I know who they work. I know where their banks are. I know their insurance company. You want that kind of stuff. You want a reputable person. Name and local number, usually painted on their work van. Okay? That's self-advertising. That's like an ad in a magazine. We think this guy's legit? Don't overthink it. Absolutely. Look, license, bonded, insurance number. He's not doing all this to try to fool you, because that truck sticks out like a sore thumb. He's doing that because he's a reputable person and he wants to get your business. If he's working at your house and your neighbor has the same problem down the street, he wants his business card in your street.
I get out my cell phone, I take a picture of it.
Sure. Now, if the green van shows up and he's just got removable magnets on the door, you might be suspicious, right? Okay. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm going to give you common sense things that all you got to do is just think a little bit, and it's going to make your world much safer. Make your home appear occupied. What do I mean by that? Light timers. But the problem is you guys go get light timers and you put it in the dining room and the library, the two rooms that you never go. Okay? I always think it's funny that people are still building houses with formal living rooms. No one uses them. You use your dining room for holidays. What are the two rooms that you use
Kitchen and family room.
24 hours a day? Kitchen's one.
Family room.
Think of older men. I'm hitting 50 this year. I know about the 3 o'clock in the morning.
Man cave?
Bathroom. You all use the bathroom 24 hours a day. Those are the rooms that should be lighting up. If someone's watching your house and the kitchen light goes on, I know I'm a sucker if I had too much red wine. I get cotton mouth, I need Gatorade. Or I say, man, I am craving Oreos. Kitchen, bathroom, all the time. Those are the rooms you use. Those are the rooms, if you're going to put light timers on, those are the ones you should light up. Even if the shade's down in the bathroom, you still see the light illuminate. You're like, wow, somebody's home. Don't do this. We still have people do this. You know, UPS tries that one time, and then you sign the back of it like, please leave it. Don't do that. You know you can go on UPS, FedEx, all those sites and reroute whatever's supposed to be delivered you have to sign for a different address. Simply by going on their website.
Are people still stealing boxes? And
Absolutely, especially during the holidays. Amazon thieves, all the time. Not so much in our town, occasionally. But yes, that happens nationwide. Okay? Sign up for delivery notifications for your packages. You get an email saying, hey, it's coming. You can actually push on the tracking button, say it's left the New Jersey facility, it's supposed to be there. They'll give you Cablevision hours between 8 and 7, right?
It's great that they take pictures of where they left it too.
Perfect, correct. Amazon does that now because employees don't want to be accused of not delivering. This is a great one. Sign up for informed delivery, U.S. Postal Service. You actually get pictures of the mail that's coming that day.
Really?
Yes. They'll send you an email, and they'll send you pictures of whatever's coming that day. I even get pictures sometimes of junk mail. I'm like, I'm so glad I'm getting a coupon book again. Random garbage, right? But that's what you do. When you're away for more than a day, okay, a week, you can forward your telephone. You know that? How many people still have a hard line? Okay. I do because my cell service stinks where I live. But, and it's mainly to order food because I don't want my phone to go out during the middle of my order. Like, oh, they're gonna come again. You can forward your telephone to your cell phone. You all know you can place your hold on your mail, right? We already talked about that. Stop it. Have it delivered a day after you return home. And don't bring it in a big box. Trust a neighbor to check on your resident? Yes. Or a family member, whoever, just give it a peek. I say, especially during the winter months, because even if your house wasn't broken into, it'd be nice to know if a pipe broke. I've had houses here run for a week. And we had the fire department make an emergency entrance to the house because we can't get in touch with anybody and their whole house is flooded. Keep the yard manicured. Make it look like you care. We all have that neighbor that like, holy cow, I think I got the Addams family around my street. Vines all over the house. You don't know if someone's dead in there. But if you keep your house looking like you care for it, that goes a long way. It looks like you're there. Notify police of away dates. So everybody know we have what's called the dark house list with the police department. On the County of Greenwich website, go under police, we have a form you can fill out. And it gives us the days you are away, your address, and you can even put information on what cars should be parked in the driveway. So, are we getting out and actively checking your residence every day? No. But what we're doing is when we do drive by your residence, if you told me there's only supposed to be a rear-end Honda Civic in there, and I drive by and there's a black Ford F-150 truck in there, I'm going to stop and investigate. That truck is not supposed to be there according to this. Okay? If I don't have that information, I'm just thinking the car's parked in the driveway and I'm going to keep driving. Keep garage doors closed. Motion sensor or photocell lighting, at least 8 feet off the ground. If someone's tall and it's short, now we have no light. Okay? You should need a ladder to change your light bulb, not stand on your tippy toes.
Do that again.
What, the EEE?
No. Where you place that?
Higher than I can reach, a ladder. I get on my tippy toes, I can reach here and turn off the light. Just unscrew the light bulb, it's off.
Okay, so that's if it's on the outside of your house, right?
Yes,
Right.
yes.
I did one of those blink things in Florida before I left,
Okay.
and there really wasn't a good place to put it on the outside that was going to show me the walkway. So it's inside, so it goes through, and there's a screen. So I get the screen, and once in a while it's going, what do I have? The lizards on the screen. Not people.
That's why I like photocell, because the motions pick up lizards, raccoons, and everything else. Photocell just light up and you don't have to worry about it. Cell phone charger in your bedroom. Don't charge it and leave your phone down in the kitchen away from you. Keep your phone in your bedroom. You always have some type of access. Even if you don't have good service, you can hook on the Wi-Fi, you can send a text, there's a way to communicate. Okay? If you have to lock yourself in the bathroom because you're afraid there's an intruder in the house, you have a way to call us. Cell phone should be within arm's reach. Okay? We have this technology now. Use it to our advantage. Designate a safe room. What I mean by that is if you actually think there's somebody in your house, there's a room you can retreat to, discreet yourself in, lock yourself in. Normally, that's the master bathroom. Okay? Master bathroom, the reason being is there's a lock on it. Guess what? Someone's in your house, you might have to go to the bathroom. You might pee your pants. You have a toilet. You also have water. What do bathrooms also always have? Windows. Windows. So there's a way for you to call us and say, hey, I'm on the second floor of the house, the north side in the master bathroom. You come around back, I can open the window and flash the lights. Now the police know where you are and you're safe. Now we can come in and clear the house and get to you. That's always helpful to us. Vehicle key fob in the bedroom. The reason why I said the vehicle key fob in the bedroom, this is an interesting thing. Every key now has a panic button.
Oh, yeah. Well,
You ever hit that by mistake? You're like, what is going on? Beep, beep, flashing lights. Test that from your bedroom, from where you park your car,
I'll test it right now.
okay? So if you do, and I say use that thing all the time. You're getting out of a building late at night at work, and your car's parked halfway across the lot, throw it on.
In the ShopRite parking lot.
Throw it
I don't
on.
know where I parked.
Yeah, throw it on. Beep, 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 flashing lights, great. I know where my car is, and no one's gonna be around it.
What about this?
Well, it's like the rape screecher.
Really loud.
Yeah, my daughter's out there. That's like the new, the terminology back in the day was called a rape whistle.
Yeah.
Okay? Now they have these things that you just pull out and it screams a high-pitched noise. That's why you were taught years ago, never yell for help. People ignore that. They always said yell fire. Fire, fire, and everybody would look for fire. Okay? There's actually a viral thing going around right now. We're trying to teach kids that they're inducted in trouble, is that they walk by somebody to do this. We're trying to make that go viral.
What does that mean?
It means they've been inducted and they're in trouble.
Oh, okay.
So if a little kid, you're walking through an airport and she goes like this to you, and you look at her and she's doing this, and she's holding the hand of some man or some woman,
She needs to help.
she's asking you to get help.
Good, thank you. That's good to know.
Have a plan. That's the basic thing. Have a plan. Right? My wife knows when we go out to dinner, immediately, I get the chair facing the door. She doesn't even attempt to sit. My kids know if we go to a movie, we go to the back row. They don't even attempt to sit anywhere else. That's where the exits are. That's where you can take cover. They just know this is dad. And they've adapted their behavior for what I expect. Because if they're doing what they're doing, I can defend a hell of a lot easier. Trim bushes, trees, plantings. We don't want to obstruct windows. We want to obstruct doorways. We don't want to obstruct your lighting. Sometimes your lighting goes up. Now the tree's covering it in the summer. It's not giving you much light. Okay? That shouldn't be occurring. Put bushes with thorns around your house. You think I'm laughing. They don't like juniper bushes or rose bushes or stuff like that. They are people. They want to work comfortably. Big trend. One of the things I'm training is what's called Dept. That's crime prevention through environmental design. I work hand in hand with architects to design buildings and homes to make your house less attractive. A lot of things they're doing now in big houses is the initial 2 feet around the house in their flower beds is gravel. One, it's awesome for drainage coming off the roof. 2, if anybody's close to your house, you hear crunch, crunch, crunch. And 3, you can do your mulch beds in front of it and you don't even see it. Always lock doors, windows, even if you're working in your yard. We've had people cutting their lawn in the back, garage is open, house is open. As long as I hear the lawnmower, I know that house is empty. Walk in. Take the Rolex off the counter. Walk out. Crime of opportunity. Please, I don't need any fake plastic rocks on your front steps. You're not fooling anybody.
I have trouble finding it. So.
Okay? They make magnetic key boxes.
Right. Yes, there.
Key in a magnetic key box underneath the rear bumper of your car. You know why? When you leave with your car, the spare key leaves. When you come home and say, oh, I forgot my house key, you know where one is.
So you're saying that's okay to do?
Sure.
We used to do that years ago.
Now, if people start finding your keys in the rear bumper, your number one suspect's me. Do not provide keys to service people. I'm not saying in every circumstance. If you've had this house cleaner for 31 years and she's like a friend, I'm not going to tell you. You live your life. I don't think it was her plan to fool you for 31 years and then get off with everything. But know who they are. Get their work visa, get their license, get a picture, know who they are. Don't leave them unattended in your home. Use peepholes or glass to identify people as they're approaching your house. Make sure your walkways are lighted good. Everything that leaves your house or approaches your house should be lit up well. Verify workmen's identities. Like I said, if you're not comfortable with this, call police headquarters and verify who I am. Jess, uniform. Can you get those? Absolutely. Absolutely. Domino's uniforms, UPS, FedEx. Halloween's coming up. You can get all those. You're not going to think twice about this guy walking around in a brown uniform. Okay. What I mean by visible on the first floor, you go away for a week, people call these curtains, shades. I better say it right or my wife would slap me. In her world, they're window treatments. Okay? Use them. Conceal. A burglar wants to know, is the reward worth the risk? I've had houses in town that were empty, but they were staged by realtors. Burglar broke into. What do you get? Nothing. There's beautiful furniture in there,
Nothing at the window.
but nothing. It was staged to sell. Safety deposit box. Safety deposit box is always a great idea. And that's something that I used an old woman years ago when I was teaching a similar class. And I said, there's no valuable worth your life. And she disagreed with me. Broke out her ring and said, my grandmother did this ring during the Holocaust. It's amazing. It's still not worth your life. Oh, yes, it is. Okay? And I explained to her. So if you photograph it, take pictures of it, and he says, give me that ring or you die, and you hand over the ring, there is a chance we recover it. If you die, there's no chance of recovering it. You're the one witness. There's no valuable worth your life. The only valuable worth your life is another person, your child, your loved one. There's no valuable worth your life. I will argue that with anybody here, because you're wrong. Not. They're not going to risk it if there's not a benefit. Okay? They're not looking at an empty car and smashing the window and then hoping to find something in the glove box. It's not what they're doing. You saw what girls are doing in that one video in Brookfield. We're just checking open doors. We'll just go to the next car, because they know they're going to find one. In that one small security camera view, we know they found one across the street. So what do you think they found the whole street? Probably 5 or 6. No more than 4 to 5 minutes attempting to break in your house, then they'll move on, because they know their clock's kicking once the alarm goes off, right? They don't get in that first punch, or they don't get in that second punch, and now they start hearing an alarm, they're out.
Are they deterred by the ring camera much?
Are they deterred by ring cameras? Depends. Okay? A lot of ring cameras are at the front door. They might find a different access point. But Ring has definitely helped us. Does everybody know you can download the Ring app for free? You do not need a Ring product to do that. I communicate a lot to the neighborhood because I am a liaison between Ring and the police department. So if something happens at your house, I can make a blue section on a map in that whole neighborhood and send out a message to everybody in the Ring app that I'm looking for suspects during this time frame, any weird cars or anything like that. They have Ring cameras. Even if they don't have Ring cameras and they have some other brand, they can send me video through that app. So the Ring app is free. Download it on your phone. We use it all the time. This is huge right now. And it's your kids and it's you. I'm in Italy. Great, you're not home. Okay? You have an amazing vacation. I want to see all about it when you get home. And the biggest ones you got to tell are your kids. Okay? You got to discuss this with your kids. Is it possible, has this ever occurred in town, that you leave out of town with your kids, and half the high school shows up at your house and has a party.
Oh, yes.
We heard that, we heard that stories.
That's happened multiple times.
Yes.
And the kid that lives there is on vacation with their family too. That means they committed a burglary, they got in the house,
Yeah.
they ransacked the house, and they had a big cake party.
Yeah.
All because you let them know that you're gonna be in Switzerland for 2 weeks.
And the day the high school shut down because there was no electricity.
Okay? Serial numbers, receipts, record these, especially if things of value. The greatest thing now is that we all have a high definition camera at our disposal. It's so much better for a detective to come if you've been a burglary victim and say, this, and this is stolen. Do you have serial numbers or pictures? Yeah, I have pictures of it all. Read a file right on your phone. Because it's a lot easier for us to take an image and try to go to pawn shops that it was sold at and locate it than you just providing a description. Okay? There it is. That's an iPhone 1. We need to update my picture. What do we think about that?
Dogs?
Yeah.
The one upstairs really barks a lot, as soon as somebody comes in the driveway.
So years ago, there was these thieves out of Brooklyn. There were silver thieves, like your fine silver from your dining rooms that you would break out once a year. They had fences for silver. A guy broken in a house, was in Belhaven. He got in a house, and when he located the dining room, he was going through the silver. There were flashlight, twinkling lights on Noah's home. Funny story in it. As he's loading silver into a bag, he hears, Jesus is watching you. And he turned his flashlight off.
As a parent?
And just sat there. He waited for a minute. He started going through the silver again. He thought his mind was playing tricks on him, like maybe I'm doing a bad thing in my conscience. A couple minutes go by. Jesus is watching you. He shines the flashlight around. There's a huge cage in the corner room with a column.
Oh my gosh.
And he goes, what kind of a nut would name their bird Jesus? I'm Abraham, the Rottweiler's Jesus. Dogs are a great idea.
That's great.
Okay? Dogs are a great idea. They see better, smell better, and the problem is what do we do when they start barking? Shut up, sit down, you're making a racket. They're telling you something. They're telling you something. Speaking of Rottweilers, when I was growing up, at one time I had 6.
Oh, wow.
Right? For a while we got a little bit crazy. My brother bred them, and every puppy came out, like, oh, we gotta keep that one. The more than anyone do. Rottweilers and big dogs are what you call very confident. They can hear you in the house, and they're aloof. They're very confident. The little ones, okay? I now have 3 French bulldogs, and I would put those 3 French bulldogs against those 6 Rottweilers.
Yeah, man.
Anytime. Okay? My Rottweilers, the last one I had, he was 160 pounds. He was protective trained. So basically what his training was, you came in the house, but he wouldn't let you leave. Come on in. If you tried to leave, he would go right and sit in front of the door. And if you tried to walk out the other way, he would growl. And he would make you sit down. My French bulldogs let me know as soon as someone is in my yard. They go crazy. Great idea. If you can tolerate dogs, if you're a pet person. Just another sense, okay? Suspicious circumstances. I don't have to go through these one by one. You come home, you know something's not right. It's not the way you left it. Either the door smashed in, a draw's opened up, your car's missing, something's not right. We're not going to explore. That's our job, okay? When you explore, what you're doing is tampering with evidence and maybe putting yourself in a bad situation because the person's still in your home. Get out, get in your car, lock your car, call us, go across the street to the neighbor, get yourself in a safe location and get us out there. We don't want to surprise anybody, especially someone that might be facing a big, lofty jail term because they've been caught for this thing. They might knock you down, they might hurt you to get out. Freedom's there, you're standing between it. Okay? Can't stress that enough. You're rolling your eyes. What do you think's worth more than your life?
Oh, no, me?
No, her.
No,
What's worth more than your life?
You're right.
Nothing, nothing.
You're right.
Okay, so just get that mindset. Because whatever you're saying in your mind right now is so precious to you, you can't enjoy it when you're dead. Just remember that.
But it also means you have to put a lot of things away that you would ordinarily not put away.
No, you just have
enjoy
to
them if they're.
absolutely enjoy them. Enjoy them all you want. Just realize that they're not worth your life. Right? You ever have the most precious thing in the world is loved ones, right? We all have parents, and in the ideal world, your parents die before you, right? You lose them at some point. They're not coming back, and you're not locking them in a safe. That's what your mind and memories are for. You can create it, okay? There's people that you've known have been dead for 20 years, but you can hear them like they were here yesterday. You can picture their smile. You can do the same thing with an item of value. We all had a favorite car growing up, right? That thing's in a scrap heap someplace right now. But you have fond memories of it. Exactly. Deadbolt lock's only as good as the door frame. We went over that. Sledgehammer, my foot, right in there. Do not install these latch locks that like you can open the door and like, oh, I can see who it is now. You push that thing comes out. It's 2 screws. They don't want to spend a lot of time making noise, attracting attention. That's why that one loud bang is what all they really want. Bang in, shut the door behind them. We're going to make ourselves less attractive now, right? Questions?
What about the incident that happened in Westport where the guy was followed home in his Aston Martin and he was pulled out in his own garage?
Absolutely. So his car was targeted, and he was probably followed from a place where they spotted that vehicle. And like I said, the most important thing you need to take out of this is what's called situational awareness. You need to be aware of your surroundings. Now, if you're suspicious, but I'm not saying you're going to be tailed and everything. You got to keep looking over your shoulder. But if you see someone, you're pulling up to your house, it might be a good idea to look around before you pull in your garage, and there's not someone waiting to get in your house. Especially, let's face the facts. If you're driving a Ferrari or that brand new Range Rover, which is not uncommon in this town, okay? And you have to also say, what is it that I have that they want? And if it's nothing, well, the threat is probably pretty low that they're going to do that to you, right? But it does make you have to be aware of your surroundings at all times, especially nowadays. Now, I don't mean to be picking on, I don't ever get political, but there's a lot more undocumented people in our country right now, okay? We're not asking for IDs, we're not checking IDs, and they're not staying in one place. You're seeing people coming from south, winding up in New York, or people coming to New York. And that's going to eventually affect a lot of different places. And I'm not saying these can all be law-abiding citizens, but the one thing you all have is some type of identification. You have some type of standing ground here. You have a residence, you have a house, you have an ID, you have a job, you work here, okay? A lot of those people who come from nothing still have nothing in this country. So, you've seen what's happening in the news with these big smash and grabs, and those aren't even, the undocumented, those are our own people doing that right
That's
now
terrible.
because of the economy. So, I always ask this, what would you do to survive? What would you do for the survival of your child? People get desperate. So, in that case, crime goes up.
I was the victim of the crime at the Y a couple of years ago.
I'm sorry?
I was a victim of a crime at the YMCA,
Okay.
maybe 3 or 4 years
Like
ago.
a locker someone was broken into, or?
No, the guy actually came into the bathroom area. He was just checking. He'd gone through the male locker room and he was now checking out the female, everyone, the whole area.
Mm-hmm.
And he took my phone. But I was told that we're we're a sanctuary city. What exactly did that mean in terms of? what
No, we
happens?
have sanctuary areas in town. So we have, like, a lot of our firehouses are sanctuaries, police headquarters are sanctuaries, safe places, designated safe places. And the YWCA is also a victims advocate for victims of domestic violence. We're not a city.
So what they.
We don't have
were
federal
his
funding as a
sanctuary- It
city.
had something to do with how he was going to go through this justice system, that sanctuary
What do
something.
they call it?
If you're
They call it
illegal
this guy.
immigrant, yeah, he happened to be a drug addict.
Yeah, I don't know the specific question you're asking, terminology is.
Sanctuary, you don't know that word for?
No, as far as
to
the
do
justice
with the
system,
legal-
that doesn't
She's talking
apply,
about immigrants.
that doesn't apply to the justice system, that's all.
What is, it was said to me at the time, I didn't understand. So I didn't.
By whom, though, by someone,
By the police.
the police said this guy's, what,
I
not
said,
gonna
oh,
be charged?
I said, can he be deported for this? And they said, no, we're a sanctuary.
Oh, a sanctuary state. Yeah, right now, there's no deportations taking place. If we have, you know, an undocumented immigrant commit a crime, in the past, when I first came on 20 years ago, we would contact ICE, which is, you know, immigration enforcement. And ICE would make the decision whether to put a hold on that person, meaning that we would hold them and they would come get them, or they would say, no, release them. Right now, ICE isn't actively putting holds on anybody. Obviously, if you're like maybe on a terrorist watch list, yeah, okay. But as far as just undocumented immigrants, we're not putting holds on any of those people.
What does a hold mean?
At the state level?
Detaining them.
Like, immigration is not requesting us to hold them for deportation.
But you're saying that decision was made at the state level?
I'm sorry?
That decision was made at the state level?
Yeah, that's well out of my decision. Yeah, that's, you know, federal, state legislation. Yeah, we haven't been doing, I would say that. I'm trying to think when we first got notice of it. I want to say it's almost like 5 years, at least. But like when I said first came on 25 years ago, if we had an undocumented immigrant commit a crime, then yes, we would, back then, there was protocol to reach out concerning that.
Can she find out through police report what happened to this?
Oh, if there was an actual, if the person was arrested, there's documentation, yeah, they still have to go to court and go through our criminal process. Yeah, it's not like because you're an illegal immigrant or undocumented immigrant that you don't get charged with a crime. You commit a crime in the US, you get charged. Now, the downfall to that is that we can't release you, you know, on bail or promise to appear without positive identification. You know, because you can come and say, I'm Tom Smith, and you don't have anything proven to me that you're Tom Smith. We can't release you. We need some type of identification. Does that make it a lot harder with undocumented immigrants? Absolutely.
But if they have ID from their country.
If it's valid,
Yeah.
yes.
Mailboxes.
Mhm. Oh, okay, good point. So the blue mailboxes in the post office. One of the biggest trends that was going on for the last couple of years is what's called mailbox phishing. So the blue mailboxes that are all over town, front of post offices on Greenwich Avenue.
What about the blue mailbox? Oh, you mean where we all put our mail?
Yeah.
Gotcha, okay, that's your talking about.
Unless they're different color.
No, I know,
Right.
I'm gonna go put mail in one of them today.
Okay. So the old mailboxes that you would open up, you drop the mail and close, it would fall.
Now it's those, barely get them in.
Correct. That's by design.
I'm sure.
Okay, so phishing devices are like a rope with something sticky, they would drop it in the hole and just grab envelopes, pull out, hopefully get checks, cash, this and that. If you have to mail an important payment, a check, cash, any of that stuff, you should be going directly to the post office and handing it to the post office person.
Not even putting it in the inside slot.
The only 100% way that thing's gonna get where it's supposed to go It's going person to person at the post office.
What about the mailboxes that lock? Your carrier can drop stuff in, but you need to get it out.
Those are great. Those are great. But then there's also things that are not gonna fit in the slot. And then they leave a sticky note on your mailbox saying, hey, I tried to deliver this, come pick it up at the post office. Either way, but what you have to realize is good security is an inconvenience.
That's right.
Good security is an inconvenience. As I always give the examples, no one likes going to the airport anymore. You gotta go 3 hours before. And what people don't realize is that the airport security in the United States is still horrible. It's still horrible. Most European countries, you don't even walk into the airport with your luggage. It's checked outside. Why?
Bombs and.
Can't get it in. I mean,
When does your luggage get screened? Not until you're going to the boarding gate, your carry-on. So if I'm standing out to get my boarding pass, or I'm standing in line, and there's a pile in line because I don't have TSA pre, and I said, God, we're going here for a half hour, I don't want to lose my place, can I just go to the bathroom and watch my bag? And I walk away and I go, doop. Everybody in line. So, if me as a security expert, those are the things I'm constantly thinking about. I'm thinking about it. Don't you think the bad people are thinking about it? Like, hey, we can't hijack planes anymore, right? We've made that a lot tougher. We have air marshals, security measures, made it a lot tougher to do. The captain's door now locks. It's a barricade. We've secured, hopefully, that aspect of air travel. Well, okay. We would say we secured stadiums, going to Yankee games and stuff like that. They have metal detectors. They're pretty secure. Okay. So I start thinking of what's a big populace? Everybody in the airport prior to security. There's a lot of it. That's why, that famous line in New York City, see something, say something. Okay.
What do you think about fireboxes? I think my husband had one ages ago. It's very hot. I mean, I can't live previously, but I'm sure you could.
For what?
That's where I hit.
Amazon's making lockable boxes now that you can put on your front steps and take packages and they're bolted down. There's a lot of different things.
I'm talking about when you just have
Those
in
are
your
just
house.
to protect your papers in a fire, they'll just take those and walk away.
Are you just talking about something that's fire retardant during a fire?
Yeah,
to
that's
protect
You
the
have to
body?
tie it to your car and, you just want to keep it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, I have a huge 4,000-pound safe in my house.
Good.
But, I lock up my firearms, and 2, I lock up important documents like social security and birth certificates and that kind of stuff that is fire retardant.
What do you get valuables, you would put in that, the walkable ones, they just pick them up and take them with them, don't they?
Anytime I go on vacation,
Yours isn't.
all my wife's jewelry and everything that's, in a lockable
That's
case to
your
begin with, it all goes on a train, it goes in the safe before I leave too.
But you have the kind of safe someone can't just pick up, the one I have, probably one she has.
You have
My safe,
Box.
my safe, when my house was getting built, my safe was actually lowered into the house by an excavator. When I sell the house, the safe goes with the house.
So like a little lock safe like this big that just holds some files.
Yeah, but,
They just walk out with those?
well, it should be bolted down. Most safes, if you look on the back of it, or on the floor of it, the floor of the safe comes out, even the little ones, there's holes in it to bolt it down. Make it harder.
Yeah, remember.
My safe's a real pain.
Having bolted to the rafters in his basement, so
Yeah.
people didn't say. Well, your house would sell well probably because for someone else to say, I'll take that.
I'm an agent.
Anything else?
It was a lot, yeah.
I want the correct number to call the police department. I have numbers in
So
my.
emergency is 911.
That I know.
Non-emergency, okay, 622-8005. 8,000 will give you the computer. You want to talk to a person? 8005 will give you a live person every time.
That's what I want, because the other day, there was a car parked, halfway out into the street.
You drop
Thank
some
you.
ID.
And, blocking everything, and when I called, I got, well, you could, what number do you want? Number 1, I had all